Okay, we are in the weekly Torah portion. It's Portion-Naso-The. And please subscribe to the channel, give it a thumbs up, hit the bell to get notifications. That way you'll know that when a new class is being given. Also comment and like it. Do whatever you need to get it high up in your YouTube rankings, and then you'll never miss a class. Thank you. We're talking about the Sota, the test of Sota. Now what happened was, I think they call this in the, what's it called? The Hertz Chumash. I think they call it the ordeal. And that's what it's known as. They've even written books on this, made up books on Sota. And it's, you probably had also, probably was based upon Sota, the Red Scarlet, the woman with the Red Scarlet something. Scarlet Letter. Oh. Okay. It was also about a suspected adulteress, if I remember correctly. None. Right. Sorry? None.
No, she was a Puritan. Well,
okay, whatever the case is. Hey, how you doing? We waited just for you. Just grab a chumash and you'll be all set. We're on page 752. Grab a chumash and you do what you have to do, but then you have the chumash. Okay. 752. So like I said, whatever it is, we're talking about that. You good for, or you have to? Okay. Okay. So 752. We're on the last. We'll be on the last line. So, like I said, this person is a suspected adulteress. We don't know for sure she did. If we knew for sure that she did, she would not be going through a test. And I'm going to give you, and for the listening audience, it's a spoiler alert. I'm giving you a spoiler alert. Okay. This test would not work. Does not work today. Will not work until we are of pure soul and spirit, if you will. Okay. In other words, if the husband did something incorrectly, if he sinned, then this test would not work. If his children sinned and he knew it and he didn't rebuke them, this test would not work. This test was a miraculous test that Hashem gave to the Jewish people in order to create, get this, a marital bliss. Because what's worse than being with a person that you can't trust? There's absolutely nothing worse. If I look at my spouse and I can't trust her, I think she's cheating on me, then the relationship is destroyed. So here, what Hashem did was he created this test for the husband. If he thinks his wife is doing something and there's a whole step that he has to go through. But if she actually goes against his warning and secludes herself with the person that he is suspecting her of committing adultery with, this test will either clear her or kill her. If she's guilty, she dies. But if she's innocent, then the husband will know. And it's just a cost of a couple of korbanos there, of sacrifices, offerings he has to bring. But again, it creates a spiritual, it creates a marital bliss, because now I can trust her. We're going to get into why this whole thing happens, but really we have to understand that walking in. This is not a test just because a woman is second class, chattel, blah, 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 whatever people want to make this. It was an ordeal more on the husband's part than the wife's part. All the wife has to drink this concoction. So that would tell her, by the way, don't put yourself in a situation where your husband is going to be a suspect of you and going to say, can I trust her? Yeah, your question?
Isn't there also something, if the woman is clear, not only is she cleared of any sort of suspicions, there's also something about having a child?
Yes, if she was having problems, if she couldn't have children, then now she would have children. That would be the bracha she gets. If she was having pain, now she would deliver them easily. That's the reward for her going through this, which is why it's in the story of Hannah. Hannah played a game with God, as it were. She wasn't having a baby, and she prays, and she says, Hashem, we can do this the easy way. The Gemara says this, not me. The Gemara says this, that Hashem, we can do it the easy way or the hard way. The easy way is you answer my prayer and you give me a baby. Period. The hard way is I get my husband jealous. I seclude myself with the man, but I don't do anything with him. He administers the test to me. I go through the test. I drink the concoction. I'm innocent. You give me a baby. You can do the easy way. You can do the hard way. It's up to you. So that's there is a truth that there is a quote unquote reward if she's innocent. Again, if she's guilty, she blows up. So does her paramour, by the way. The paramour also blows up. So the guy who she did it with doesn't get away with it. They both die. The paramour means the guy who's doing it with her.
No, but does he have to drink it too?
No. When she drinks it by associated property, he suddenly blows up wherever he is. Yeah, that would be an interesting thing. Yeah. How that actually happened, I don't know. But it's wherever he was, he would also die as a result. So it wasn't just one that dies, two of them die if she's guilty.
Isn't that also the punishment just in general, like if the woman confesses to adultery, then she still dies anyway?
No. If the woman confesses to it, first of all, she doesn't drink.
Right.
If she says I did it, there's no drinking.
Right, no, that's fine.
But if she confesses to it, she just goes, he divorces her without her ketubah. She gets no money. Just remember, a ketubah was the contract between the man and the woman. That in a that we lay down what the responsibilities are for the husband to the wife and for the wife to the husband. And there's a cost for this contract. So if the husband would divorce the woman, he owes her 200 zuzim, which update that to today's cost, it would be besides 100 zukukim. So up that you have basically a year's salary of whatever your salary was when you got married. So if you it's not the salary you're living with. Notice if he made $1 million, he doesn't have to give her $1 million. Like Jeff Bezos, to use Jeff Bezos, Amazon, he cheated on his wife. There's a famous case. He cheated on his wife. It just happened, and so he lost his money. She filed for divorce. He was the richest man in the world, richest in the world. Okay, so they said, well, not anymore, but he still is actually. The wife didn't really want that much. But the point is that when they got married, he wasn't Jeff Bezos of Amazon. He was just a regular guy. It took years for him to become Amazon and the juggernaut that Amazon is. So, let's use that case. In that situation, she was not buying into Amazon. She was buying into what he originally had, whatever that paycheck was. And that would be her ketubah. In a sense, so it doesn't go by what you could make, it goes on by what you had. There's a price. It's a prenup. You're doing a prenup. And that's what the ketubah is. So what this woman does when she says, I committed adultery, she loses that ketubah. She lives. You're not going to kill her for that. She lives. And why does she live, by the way? Because there's no witnesses to her action. If there be witnesses to her action, then it's not her. She's not admitting to it. Then she's forced. Then we have a capital case. We would have a capital case. Okay. Because you're cheating on. Yeah, that's in.
What if she was confronted and was told that there were two witnesses? She had been denying it, but if she was told there were two witnesses, what if she?
The two witnesses have to. There's not enough. Two witnesses have to come up. They have to say what they saw. They have to be.
At that point, if she was willing to admit to it, then without going to the court, when she found out.
Well,
could you do a plea bargain? In other words,
I understand what you're saying. The problem I'm having is that in the book of Leviticus, it says if that they die. So I'm not sure if that's just engaged or marriage also. I'm pretty sure adultery, if you have witnesses, is a capital crime.
In other words, if she had
regardless
denied
of her
if
admission.
she had denied it up to that point, then the two
We have
witnesses.
this two
So in other words, the two witnesses aren't really witnesses until they come to the court and make that statement. So at
Correct,
that point, it's
correct,
done for
correct.
her.
No, that's to come
okay,
to
so
court.
then it's done for her.
Right.
If they approached her first and said,
If she
"We're going
said-
to take you to court," she still has time.
If she says, I messed up, I want a divorce, I did something, the husband believes her, that's it, it's done.
So,
I mean,
so it has
she
to be
can't.
in front of the court.
Yeah, yeah. But like I said, I think that, I'm not sure when, in Leviticus, it's, I'm pretty sure it's Leviticus. It's Leviticus or Deuteronomy? I forget where it is already. But it goes through all the cases and says that if they have relations, they die. If they have relations and it was found. So I don't know, when it comes to admission, that would be interesting. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what happens. Like I said, though, you're dealing with capital crimes.
Yeah.
This is not a capital crime because we don't know about it and there aren't witnesses to it. So that's the thing. Okay, let's go into this. That's the spoiler alert. So now if people are watching, we'll be all caught up. Now we can actually go through the verse and see how it works, how this whole thing works. So it says, "Vayedaber Hashem Moshe Lemor." So Hashem spoke to Moshe, saying, "Daber b'nei Yisrael, speak to b'nei Yisrael, speak to the Jews. Ve'amarta lehem, you shall say to them, ish, a man, each man, ki tista ishto, when his wife veers away, goes astray, good. Umala bo ma'al, and commits a treachery against him." So it says, Rashi explains, "Ma katuv l'mala min ha'inyan." What's written above this? What was the parsha immediately preceding this? V'ish ekadoshav lo yu, that it was talking about the man with his the holy objects that he was supposed to give to the Kohen. Im ata ma'akev matanot HaKohen. So if the guy did not want to give the presents to the Kohen that he should have, what his punishment will be is his wife is going to go off the derech, if you will, and to put herself in a situation where he's going to have to bring this sacrifice. So the Kohen is going to win one way or the other. Again, you can do it the easy way or the hard way. What?
Say it all comes back to the Kohen. You have to go in front of the Kohen to say, do the test.
Right. So the point is that you have to you can't cheat the guy. So it says ish. Why does it say man twice? Lamdecha shemoelet b'shnayim. Okay, that it says to teach you it's going with two things: the man on top, the woman on her husband's underneath. Fine. So what we're talking about there, it's, let me see, does he say better here? He sees, it doesn't say it. I'm not translating it as well as I could. Okay, we'll go on. I don't know how to translate that better. So what happens is his wife went off. Shana Rabbanim, Aim and Hamanafim, no afim, that adulterers do not commit adultery, until the spirit of foolishness enters into their mind. As it's written, you became a fool. That's this person is minus heart, as it were. Pshuto Shemikra, the simple understanding is she stopped acting in a modest fashion, and she caused him to be a suspect in his eyes. Okay, so that is why he uses the word tiste. And that was, what is a treachery? V'shachav ish ota, that a person may have been lay with her. Okay. So then it says, so what's, and the pasuk will tell you straight, Ma'ala b'ma'al, what's a treachery? V'shachav ish ota, that a man will lay with her, shechvat sarah, and gave her semen, v'ne'elam v'enei isha, and it was hidden from the eyes of her husband, v'nistara, she was concealed, v'hi nitma'an, she became defiled and could have been defiled. Ve'ein eid ein ba, but there was no testament, there was no witness. And the biggest thing is, vehi lo nidpasa. She also wasn't grabbed. She wasn't forced. There's no rape case. Not a rape case. Okay, rape case we deal with in other places. This is specifically not a rape case. So Rashi explains, ish why did the Torah have to say an ish again? Why does it have to say a man? To exclude a child. The imisha eno ish, or a person that is not a man. I'm not sure who we're talking about there. It could be an androgynous. It could be a tumtum. These people we don't know what they are. It's interesting that in today's culture we have the new sex, which is I don't know what I am sex. Okay, they came up with something new in the world. Well, this is biblical in a way, because there's some things we just didn't know how to classify. Where do you fit? Do you fit in this category, in that category? You're not a straight man, you're not a straight woman, you're something in the middle. Or
by the way the person had been born.
Right.
So
sometimes, right, so sometimes you had two units, and sometimes it was hidden, you couldn't tell which one it was. And it's that's the androgynous had both, and the intumtum he was hidden. So you didn't know what you're looking at. And then you had, like I said, the katan was the easiest, but it's, I don't think he touches any of this, right? Yeah, I doubt he touches any of this. Yeah. So then it says, a person gave her semen, shechivta poselot. So her lying with somebody would make her forbidden. But her sister lying with someone would not. So that's why it says ota. So let's say I had an identical twin or whatever, or a sister. The sister or her sister's action don't impact upon her. Okay, and they give the case like two identical sisters who appear like the other. So you would have thought that. By the way, I've been zocha. I never thought it would happen. But I was zocha to see two twins, not you guys. Two women that were twins. They were identical twins. And what happened was, the husband died. The husband died, and so I was doing the funeral, and I thought it was his wife coming up, and I was thinking, that's how you dress for a funeral? Are you kidding me? I mean, she was dressed to kill. Wow. And so she was going on a date. That's all what it was. And but I didn't say anything. What can I say? So she comes up the stairs and she goes in. I said, hello, how are you? And then what happened? The wife came.
Oh, that was the twin sister.
That was the twin sister. And I took a double take because I didn't know she had a twin sister. I had no idea she had a twin sister.
You said you held that thought to yourself. You didn't say.
No, I didn't say that. I'm not crazy. Now everybody knows. But it's when the sister came in, I said, "What the heck is that?" And I just saw her walk in. Wow. So that's when somebody told me, "No, that's her twin sister." Wow. I said, I mean, in retrospect, I was wrong to think what I thought, but it was so amazing. Identical.
You didn't even know.
I never knew there was a sister like that. I mean, I think she once told me she had a twin. I didn't know, but again, you don't. There wasn't one, like these two, I can tell the difference. You're identical, I can tell the difference. There was no difference.
You see them often enough,
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. So that's what it says here. Like the actions of two sisters who look like each other. So one sister does something wrong, you would think that it will impact on the other sister. No, the Torah is telling you it has nothing to do with that. It has to be that woman who had relations or was suspected of having relations. Fine. Again, it was hidden from the eyes of her husband. And what does this mean? Prop the summa. If our husband's blind, this test won't work. Yes, we have to see. Hi, what?
Also the same as like different pharmaceuticals
Say it again.
child. It also applies to the rebellious child case. Like the parents have to see him doing the sin. So if they're blind, it doesn't work.
I'm not sure if it says they have to see.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure about the, again, for YouTube world. I'm not sure that the way it's on, if you have to see it. I'm not sure if it's prat the summa. I'm not sure. I forget that case.
Remember, there's something like that. Like if they're not what's called physically able in some way or something that you wouldn't expect in the case. Like if they can't see it, actually, it's like, oh. I guess
Like I said, I'm not sure about that case. There are cases, yes. There are cases that you have to see it. Like if you're giving testimony, you must see the act. You can't. We don't accept circumstantial evidence. So, under any circumstances, and it says, okay, and like I said, if the summa, the blind person, the water wouldn't check it. Vanistera, and she is concealed or hidden. Shior shatira tuma bia. She has to be hidden or secluded with this guy with the amount of time it would take for the tuma to take place. We're not talking about a major amount of time. We're not talking about, we're talking, as the Gemara says, enough time to walk around the decal tree. So it's not a major amount of time. Again, it's just, you just have to have quick relations. So it's not an hour. You're talking a few minutes. That if he secludes herself with her, if she secludes himself with him, that's the problem. And it says, there's no witness. Hi, im yeshba afilu eid echad. But so we learn from that even if there was even one witness, sha'ama, that he said nitzmeit, she was defiled, lo haita shoteh, she would not drink. If even one did it, that would be enough for the husband to say, "Say lavi, baby, you're gone from my house. I'm not killing you, but there's no ketubah here either. Have a great day." If there's one witness that says she did it, done. Normally you would need two witnesses, but so one witness and it ends. You don't make her drink. Okay, and again, there was no testimony. There was no witness when for the act about yesh edem listira, but there were two witnesses hearing him say, "Don't conceal yourself." So that they saw she concealed herself. That they had. She had witnesses that she went into the room with the young man or whatever she was going to, and stayed there long enough, but they didn't know what happened. And then the last one is nipasa. She was not raped. Okay, that's the other thing that he just translate nensa. Okay, fine. So that's the first thing. She has to be getting her husband jealous by leaving the ways of normal modesty. That's what starts it up. Then what happens is, since he's already suspect because he sees her doing things that are inappropriate halachically, so now he warns her, do not seclude with Reuven. By the way, if she was secluded with Shimon, there would be no problem there. He's only a suspect of Reuven. If he says, don't seclude with anybody, that would be another situation. But if he says specifically, don't go with Reuven, then if she does the same thing with Shimon, she can't be brought up for the charge. Okay, so that's important to know. So he has to be very, very specific with what he wants, who he's trying to keep her away from. So it says, "V'avar alav ruach kin'ah," so a spirit of jealousy passes over him. V'kinei et ishto, and he warned. Kinei is interesting to say. Kinei is warned, but because again, kina is from jealousy. So he warns his wife. It's and by the way, Rashi says that before concealment, before her hiding with this guy, that's when the jealousy goes over. Pirshu Rapinu Lashon Hatra, he gives her the warning, and he says, do not be alone with the individual that we're talking about. Okay, so then what happens is Vihi Nitma'a, Avar Alav Ruach Kina, and she becomes Tameh, or the Ruach Kina passes over him again, or the spirit of jealousy passes over him, and he wants his wife. But she did not become defiled. So what's going on here? Rashi says, "V'hinitma o avar lav kolomar." What's going on here? Hu hatraba, he warned her. V'avra al hatrata, and she transgressed on his warning. V'ein yadua, but it's not known im nitma im love, not knowing whether or not she did anything. Again, she's went into seclusion. Now, why did she do that? It could be a lot of reasons. It could be that she was saying, "Who are you to tell me what not to do?" Could have been just that sort of a wife. Or it could have been the game that Chana played, that I want to have a baby, so we can do it either way, the hard way. It could be that he made it impossible for her not to do something. Don't go into your father's house alone, and so on and so forth. So again, if she does that, it could be a problem. Okay. By the way, here's the laws that we have of yichud.
Yeah.
Because of the laws we have of not being alone with the opposite sex, this would negate this whole law. If people would follow that, you would never have this case of sota. Something to keep in mind, which is today, especially today, where you have all the Me Too movement going on. You really do have to protect yourself against. Forget halacha for a second. Just common sense. You don't want to be in a situation where somebody can cry rape. So you want to make sure that you're separate. So here you're seeing this thing come to life in a very strong manner. Okay? Without taking the test, but I'm just saying the principles here are very important. So what happens is it that? 15, right? So now the man has to bring his wife al kohen to the kohen, and he brings her the korban with her on her, which is asher the ephah kemach sa'oren, which is a tenth of an ephah, which is measure of flour of barley flour, barley, right? So make sure, barley flour, right? Lo yisok alav shaman, he should not pour upon it this offering oil. V'leitin alav levona, and he should not put this levona or frankincense, I think you call it, frankincense upon it. Ki minchat kenaot hu, because it is the mincha offering of jealousy. Minchat zikaron maskert avon. A meal is a meal offering of remembrance, a reminder of the iniquity. Rashi explains, kemach, why the flour? Shlo yeh misolet. It shouldn't be the fine flour. We have two types of flour. You have solet, which is fine flour, and you have kemach, which is just regular flour. I guess the brown flour you would buy. It's not a good grade. It's not a good grade of flour.
It's not like sifted or anything.
No, it has to be a little sifted, but not as sifted. Flour has to be sifted somewhat, right?
Or is it ground finer?
I'm guessing that the more you sift the flour, the better off the quality is. So here you're getting solet is fine flour. Yeah. Here you're getting the coarse grain. Okay. And then he said, then Rashi explains to arm the barley, v'lo chitam, and not wheat. Why? He asta ma'aseh behema, because she acted like an animal. So now her korban, her sacrifice, is going to be what feeds the animals. You don't give an animal fine flour, you give it the coarse grain. Lo yitzak alav shemen, he shouldn't pour oil over it. Why? Shlo yehei korban mahudar, because the sacrifice shouldn't be made special, as it were. Shemen kroi or. Oil is called light. V'hi asta b'choshech, and she acted in darkness. Because, right, she secluded herself. So, v'lo yiten alav levona, you don't put frankincense on it. She'imahot nikraot levona, because the foremothers, the matriarchs, were called levona, frankincense. Shene'amar v'yal givat ha'levona, fine, and she'oshirim, v'hi pirsha midarkeichem, and she has separated herself from their ways. So as a result of that, you can't bring it. And so this is the meal offering of the jealousies. HaKemach hazeh, this flour, Kemach lashon zachar, and since Kemach, the word Kemach is masculine, that's why even though Minchat, Kinaot is both feminine, it still goes hu, because the hu is referring to the masculine Kemach. So that's something for all the Bali Kriya out there. Okay, Minchat Kinaot, why is it considered? Why is it called an offering for jealousies, for the jealousy offering? Me'oreret aleh shtei kinaot. It awoke upon her two types of jealousy. Kinat amakom, the jealousy of Hashem, as it were. Hashem is angry that she would put herself in that situation. The kinat Baal, and also of the husband, because she put herself in that situation. So for the husband, he's not happy because now he has to bring something to the Kohen. He can't trust his wife. And what am I going to do? And again, Hashem apparently is not so happy with this process. Why isn't he happy? Because his name will have to be blotted out in the mixture, which shows you how far and how much God loves Bnei Israel, that he allows his name to be blotted out in order to ensure marital bliss. Normally, to cross out Hashem's name, or to erase it, is a biblical injunction. You cannot do it. And here, for this particular test, in order to create marital unity, Hashem allows for it. Yeah.
When it comes to the marital unity stuff.
Say it again?
When it comes to the idea of marital unity,
Bliss.
On one side, marital bliss, marital unity. On one side, if she's guilty, she dies. If she's not, then there's marital unity. But won't there be like that? If she's innocent, then she was warned. So, but won't there still be that like that?
Animosity between the husband?
Right.
Okay, so again, the understanding would be that no, there would be an animosity because she put herself into that situation.
Right. She had to be warned.
She had to be warned. So first of all, she put herself in that situation where the husband would get jealous, which means she has to tshuva herself, because she let herself go off and do things that are not appropriate to a Jewish woman. Okay, so once you're doing that, so you have to wake up and smell the coffee. Your husband's now asking you nicely not to do it, and then he gives you a warning in front of the witnesses. Come on, give me a break. It means you want something from this. You want him to get excited. So, for whatever reasons you have, I don't know what the reasons are. And like I said, it could be for valid reasons like Chana had, or it could have been, or by Chana never had to do it. Let's understand, she never had to do it. Hashem gave her he took the easy road. Okay, but at the same time, since she's doing that and she's going off the derech, so there's her way, her chance to tshuva. So she's once I would guess, once she sees her husband cares that much about it. By the way, what could the husband do? I suspect my wife. What could he do? Get a divorce. Pay her off. Have a good day. It only costs a year's salary. Good. You're gone. I'm through. No harm, no foul. No harm, no foul. I can't trust you anymore. Here you go. That's our deal. Right? She has nothing to say. Certainly in these days. Nothing to say. Except the divorce. Bye-bye. And you take the money. Take the money and run. If that's what she wants, she wins. But seeing that the husband is going through all this just to maintain the marriage, if it finds her innocent, shows how much she loves her. You never would think about it from this story. Right. But you really have to think in that manner. It would be so simple. Here's your divorce. Bye-bye. Again, it's going to cost me a little money. Who cares? It's cost me money no matter what. I have to give a korban, I have to bring it to the temple. It's a schlep. I have to take a couple of days off from work. The boss is yelling. The field is field is going into it. It's going to pot just because I want you. Look how much I want you, honey. You know, that sort of thing. So that's what I say. It really is for marital bliss. And if you look at it in that context, we'll stop here. But I thought I could get further, but okay, fine. If you look at it in that context, then, like I said, this whole story takes on a brand new understanding. And that's why, like I said, this part of Sota, which is a whole Gemara, the whole Gemara Sota out there. And when people look at this, the thing is derogatory about women, showing that women are second class, is everything but that. It's the exact opposite of what the news media, namely my teachers of UMass and everybody else, wanted to be. It's really showing the beauty of the relationship and how much Hashem wants this to work. We'll have to stop here.